boom boom, chicka boom boom, chicka boom boom, picka boom boom, chicka boom boom. I wish that I could fly into the sky so very high, just like a dragonfly. Boom chicka chicka boom boom. Chicka boom. I fly above the trees, over the seas, in all degrees, to anywhere I please. Oh, oh, oh yeah. I want to get away. I wanna fly away. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I want to get away. I wanna fly away. Yeah, 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 yeah. Good morning, fellow billionaires. This is Sil5150 with your morning update for Monday, August 31st, 2020. And that, of course, was Lenny Kravitz with his great hit Fly Away. And it's an homage to our beautiful two 10-ounce beauties here. These are the ultra high relief Majestic Eagles, from JM Bullion. There were 1,000 of these, I think, that were available. And subscriber Creo, the lone traveler, told me about these kind of at the last minute. So after weighing the mintage against the premium, and guys, the premiums was steep. The premium for these things were $33 per ounce. But I had sold some fractional gold to Baby Duck earlier in the week, so I switched that money out and bought these Majestic babies here. So yeah, I think these came out to be about $600 a piece. These are 10 ounces, so do the math. Not cheap, but at 1,000 mintage, and they're around. They kind of struck me as something that would be worth collecting. And the thing is, I never really thought much about 10-ounce round or bar collectibles until I started listening to the Silver Game of Thrones channel. And so now I can see that there's some merit to purchasing very well struck, I wouldn't say high premium, but these are pretty high premium rounds for that express purpose, for collectability. But I'm starting to learn more and more as time goes along. So I sold some fractional gold. I was able to switch that out for the silver here. So I don't know if I saved any money that way, because I did make quite a bit of profit off the gold. But that's kind of the way I've been doing it. And it didn't take very much to do that. So guys, now these are ultra high relief. Let me see if I can get a grip on one of these here. So these are ultra high relief, okay? And as you can see, they really went all out with the detail in these things. All right, and if I had to compare these to, say something that I already have in my inventory, it would be the ultra high relief kilo Libertads that I have in the depository right now. And if you guys want to see those ultra high relief kilo Libertads, they're in the very first video that I posted on my channel. And then if you're going to be down there, just go ahead and work your way through the entire library. Just kidding. People have things to do. People are very busy. They don't have time to be digging in and watching everybody's libraries, because there's a lot of stacker libraries I'd like to dig into, and I haven't had time to do it because I've been trying to do shows and do jobs and all that stuff. But I'll get around to it. That's what vacation's for, right? So anyway. So yeah, these things are the bomb.com, man. They are ultra high relief. They are absolutely beautiful, and the detail and the craftsmanship is just top notch. It really is. If you look at the detail, say, with the eagle here on the front, the Majestic Eagle, you can see the details in its feathers and the micro details in the feather texture, and even like the etchings in his beak to try to give it texture and stuff like that. And forgive the glare there, but we're just trying to give you a good look at it. And of course, the precision comes in with the eagle claw over the medallion, which is on the back side there. And you can see that actually has some really ultra high relief feature to it too. Look how the shadows catch it. So very, very cool. Very, very cool. So I'm thoroughly enjoying these. I don't think I'll dive into too many more ultra high relief, ultra high premium stuff things, but I might. If I see something that's really, really worth, if 10 minutes, 100 minutes, maybe I'll get into that. If you want to get into the 100 minutes, you really have to start looking at, other metals like gold, for example. They have like real low mintages for some of the Perth premium goods and stuff. But, hey, it's all relative to what you like. All right. Now, though, looking at these right here, looking at these, it kind of had me thinking about the U.S. Mint. they could probably learn a thing or two from JM Bullion. Now, this is the Majestic Eagle, all right? So it's a Majestic Eagle round, and it's out of JM Bullion. But U.S. Mint, okay, I think I'm talking to you, U.S. Mint. If you guys at U.S. Mint are listening, because I'm sure somebody from the Mint listens to this channel, not. But if you are listening, I mean, look, you guys kind of owe us stackers because we have been buying a lot of your products and we're counting on you to deliver the goods that you promised to deliver. There's this stipulation inside the Constitution that says that the United States Mint is supposed to meet the demand for silver eagles. Whatever that demand is, however they have to source the silver, they're supposed to meet demand every year. And of course, we had the pandemic, so they were able to cut back like everybody else and stuff. And so, but anyway, I wonder, if that was all really necessary because if you look at most of their minting facilities, they are heavily robotic, you know. So anyway, so yes, U.S. Mint, most of your minting facilities are heavily robotic, and still you chose to shortchange the mintages this year. I know that the virus is a thing, but I understand if you couldn't produce high numbers like you did in previous years, but still, you could have done a little bit better. But you know what? We forgive you. We forgive you, right? Especially if you take a page from J.M. Bullion's book and you produce, get ready, how about a 10-ounce silver eagle coin from the U.S. Mint? Commemorative of, say, the 2021, because I think they're supposed to just change the design for the American Silver Eagle here next year. And so if they're going to do that, why not kick it off with the regular 1-ounce, BU? Which, look how puny this one looks compared to the Majestic Eagles. This is a 1-ounce, Silver Eagle. And then these, of course, are the 10-ounce Majestic Eagles rounds. And so, but what if the United States Mint decided to go ahead and produce that 10-ounce Silver Eagle coin, for 2021? They already mint the 5-ounce American the Beautiful coins. So why not, a special edition 10-ounce Silver Eagle? And by special edition, I mean one that commemorates, of course, the new year 2021, but then have a mintage of like 10 million or so. So every stacker that wanted 1 or 2 or 10 could get them. So they wouldn't be that exclusive, but they'd be exclusive enough, and just make them for the 1 year, and then you don't have to do anything else. You don't have to make them every year, or you could, depending on if the silver's available. I don't think it is. But I'm just saying, if you want to make this up to us stackers, United States Mint, that would be a way to do it. Produce a 10-ounce American Silver Eagle coin, okay, and you can even use the ATB machinery to do it. Just thicken the coin itself and put it in a better capsule. So anyway, I guess that's going to probably have a bunch of Enforcement Division Treasury officials at my front door tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and quit while I'm ahead. Not bashing the U.S. Treasury, just saying that, or U.S. Mint, just saying that you can, you could really kick things off for next year if you wanted to. Go ahead and move that a little bit there. All right. So now a look at the markets. Let's go ahead and look at the markets. And it looks like the futures are up right now in equities. Last night I was watching, and earlier in the evening, they were really up. I think the Dow futures were up like 150, 160 points. Now we're down in the 35-point range, which means that the energy from all of Powell's Fed talk is starting to bleed off a little bit. And then, I think the dollar index is down also, which doesn't make any sense. So if the dollar is down, well, it makes a little bit of sense. If the dollar's down some, then stocks should be up some, but then gold and silver should be up also. And, oh, by the way, silver is outperforming everything, even though gold is a little bit in the red right now. But see, I looked at the euro this morning versus the dollar, and the euro is actually doing pretty good. It's in a 119 handle at 119.17. And then, of course, the dollar is deep down into that 92 handle, which is about 92.32, I believe, is where the dollar is right now, on the way to the 91 handle. This is a steady decline in the dollar, people, a steady decline in the dollar value and stuff. And so what needs to be, kept in mind is that as that happens, as the dollar's, value starts to decline, it's going to take less of those to buy the things you need. That's called inflation. So let's go ahead and see if we can continue capitalizing on that. So right now, stock futures are up. The Dow, S&P 500, the Nasdaq, and the S&P small caps are all tracking up slightly higher, about 1/10 to 1/5%, not very much. And of course, gold and silver are just kind of hanging on. It looks like gold and silver, they had big gains last night in the futures. I think silver at one point was up about 55 cents to 28 40 or 28.50. And then, of course, gold was up last night quite a bit, about $6 and stuff. And it was up to, I believe, 1980 or something like that, 1982. So right now, they're both just kind of tracking nominally. Gold is right there at the flat line, about 1973. And then silver, of course, is just above $28 at 28.14 heading into the trading day. So, like I said, the euro has confirmed that we're going to get better numbers out of gold and silver today. I don't know what the week's going to look like, if we're going to actually break any kind of barriers or records or have any kind of success in, gaining new highs or anything like that. But all we have to do is sit and wait and watch. All the stuff is baked into the cake. The Fed said everything they're going to do, and then, of course, we've got all of the turmoil across the globe. There's all kinds of things going on. Say, for example, I was looking at a story where in San Francisco, only 43% of storefronts are open now in San Francisco, as there's a steady exodus out of that city. Let's just use it as a microcosm for every other big city in North America. Well, in the United States anyway. And so, yeah, that's the kind of economic environment we're in. In a interview I did last night with Silver Game of Thrones, I was explaining how the political world is completely disconnected from the economic world, and that's just the way it is. This is kind of the environment we are in. So everything's drawing down. We're heading into a depression, so to speak. Even though the stock market doesn't necessarily relay that, and of course our politicians aren't going to tell us the truth about that because they don't want to incite panic. And you know what? I don't think there should be any panic. Nobody should panic. Just know that you need to be doing things differently than you've been doing it. You can't rely on the just-in-time delivery systems. You can't rely on, the government to come in and save you. You can't rely on, things that were stable and available to you to still be around, much longer. You have to plan ahead and try to prepare yourself. I really like that Lincoln penny. That's pretty cool. It's not a penny though. It's of course, 1 ounce round. I think from Provident I got that from. All right, guys, so right now I'm going to go ahead and I want to touch a little bit on what I like to call stacking psychology. And stacking psychology today, the mindset that we have in the stacking community. And we'll be touching on this throughout the week. So we'll be touching on this throughout the week. And I basically want to cover the notion of having to transition out of the shadows at some point and into the mainstream. We have these standards that we use in the stacking community, and some guys do it and some guys don't. It's like, well, they don't show their face, and I get it. It's probably not good to show your face if you're showing all your metal, because you never know if somebody out there wants to try to take advantage of that situation. But when you think about it logistically, it's actually quite an undertaking if somebody wanted to get you. If they want to get you, they're going to get you, but they would have to put in a lot of effort to do it. For many years, the life of the stacker, as far as I could tell, has been more closely related to the doomsday prepper than to, say, a stock investor. Right now we have about 3 levels of stackers when it comes to social exposure, and those include the quiet anonymous stacker, the casual local stacker, right, and then the social media ambassadorial stacker, which includes, of course, that senior ambassador dealer like Mike Maloney or one of these guys that get on there and they hawk their products and they tell you good stuff about how to position yourself. So it's not like they're just on one side. But you have all these different stackers in there, whether they're up in the clouds or whether they're down on the ground with us. But to be honest, I think, all these categories are necessary, psychologically speaking. And I really wouldn't recommend any changes to how things are set up. If you want to be low key, be low key. If you don't, then don't, The one thing I have noticed is that the doomsday prepping posture that became popularized by networks like National Geographic and the Discovery Channel, say some 14 years ago, it's been 14 years and people have slowly become more accepting to the precious metals hoarding ideal. Not saying that, we're out of the weeds, but, just saying that, hey, it's not as scary and volatile as it used to be. Say people shunning preppers or prepping or saying you're a crackpot or something like that. I think a lot of people now are more perceptive to the notion of preparing one way or another, given everything that they're seeing on the newsreels. All right, so I guess the point I'm trying to make is that we are no longer as tight a population or as tightly wound a population as we once were about that whole thing. However, when it comes to stackers, I think that world governments might see us more now as a problem than in the past. So go figure. So the general population doesn't really have a problem with us, and the governments and central banks might. It all depends on how these things turn out. I think in all honesty, if the markets begin to roll over and lay down, they're going to somehow try to pin the occurrences on our activity. They say, well, it's those darn stackers out there that's they're the ones that cause all this upheaval by buying up too much precious metal. Which, if people don't understand how precious metals work and what their role is in monetary theory, they're gonna they'll probably buy it. They'll probably buy into it. But that's kind of a long term speculation. I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but I do know when you say things like that and you get it out into the ether, it kind of actually influences the odds of it happening. So, it's like to see is to be seen, so to speak. So we'll see if that has any effect. Anyway, so in my case, I thought for sure that by exposing myself the way I have so far would have me, ending up toes up somewhere or having me become dead meat, either in the crosshairs of the government or maybe somebody trying to come after me because they wanted my stuff. And of course, that's, kind of that semi-paranoid, way of thinking that I jumped into after watching a lot of prepper style stuff. And I mean, you do need to be, you know, uh, low in silhouette. You need to remain kind of private and kind of quiet. You can let some stuff out, but some stuff you need to try to keep, on a down low just to provide yourself an extra layer of security. But as it turns out, sorry, there's a lot of other stackers and special interest content providers out there that have a much higher level of exposure than I do. Yet they seem to be doing all right. You remember I was talking about these guys, Mike Maloney and stuff. Mike Maloney, he's, in very good shape. Financially, he has access to a lot of precious metals and stuff, and people know his face when they see him. He goes to conferences. And if you've seen like Silverfest and stuff, you see all these big, silver gurus, or precious metals gurus at these conferences and stuff. And I don't know what the security entanglements are there, but they seem to do okay. You never hear about any of these guys getting kidnapped or, shot at or, beat down or, jumped or anything like that. So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's just something that's not reported. But I don't think it is as dangerous a prospect being in this world, excuse me, stacking as, it used to be. I don't know. Maybe I'm off on that. I hope somebody in the comments will correct me because I'm sure I missed something. All right. So I guess also what I'm saying is that people aren't as interested in as they were in the past in taking advantage of other people, especially in the physical investing world as it used to be. Now, I don't know. I don't know. My overall point is that it'll be great one day when we can finally come out of the shadows and use our gold and silver as money the way it was meant. In the white market, I always give these color categorizations to these markets. White market, where we always buy stuff, without any problem. The gray market, where you do stuff kind of, yard sale, farmer's market, flea market, this sort of thing. And of course, the black market, where you buy stuff you shouldn't buy. But the gray market is where, all of the peer-to-peer transaction stuff takes place. But to be able to use gold and silver out in the regular open white market, where it's freely traded and openly accepted, because it is the coin of the realm according to government doctrine, as it should be. All right? I have no idea what that sound is, but it happens every morning. I'll touch on this a little bit more tomorrow, talking about the psychology of it and talking about coming out of the shadows and at some point becoming the mainstream. Is the whole idea is for us to become the mainstream instead of, being the alternative right now. Because, that's gold and silver and precious metals. They're considered alternative investments. So hopefully one day that won't be the case. All right. But for now, let's just go ahead and talk about something more fun, like some of the specials I saw online last night. We can touch on the psychological stuff later throughout the week, like I said, but let's talk about some of the specials I found last night online. Excuse me. And right now, SD Bullion has Random Year Philharmonics. If you guys haven't seen that, for just over $32 a piece, okay, which is not bad because Random Year Philharmonics on so many other websites are fetching about $40. They want about $40 for them. So if you get Random Year Philharmonics, hope that you get like some 2011s because that's like a low mintage year for Philharmonics. But go ahead and check SD Bullion out for those. Okay. And then who else? Oh yeah, Bold Precious Metals has the 2018 Perth Mint 1 ounce silver rifle bird. available for about $36 a piece. Now, that might seem kind of high, but I'm telling you guys, for a silver coin out of the Perth Mint that has a mintage of only 50,000, that's a pretty low number for a big sovereign mint like the Perth Mint. And I call them sovereign mint because they are the mint for Australia. But yeah, and so if at 50,000, that's a pretty low number for that coin, the silver rifle bird from 2018, which is a 2-year-old coin. And so you might want to look at that. Even though it's $36, it is a hot coin, and I think it's going to do very well down the road. Okay, what else we got? Oh, we also have from Provident Metals. Provident Metals has created a new 10-ounce silver bar design, which I think is pretty sharp. They had the old Provident silver bar that had like the star with the round border on it and stuff. These right here are much more technical looking. They're much more securitized in their design, especially the backside. They kind of remind me of the Johnson Matthey bars and the Asahi bars that they have out right now, the 10-ounce bars. But anyway, so yeah, Provident has those new 10-ounce bars from their house brand for about $306 a piece. And they also have 2.5 gram Valcambi gold bars for about $179 a piece. So check out Provident for those two things that I think are worth stacking for not too much money over spot. Okay, so I noticed also that Silver Gold Bull has a 2016 10th ounce gold Call of the Wild Cougar coins from the Royal Canadian Mint for around $235. And that is an assay. That's with the little black assay card. So I'm not sure if that's a great deal at $235 for a 10th ounce of gold, but I do know that 1/10 ounce gold coins out of Royal Canadian Mint are really hard to come by, especially in assay. So if you want to check that out, go ahead and check that out. And then finally, sorry, believe it or not, good old APMEX, which was a surprise to me as well. They have the 2008 1-ounce silver Olympic maple leaves up for grabs for around $32 a piece, less than the Philharmonics that they have at SD Bullion. All right, so think about that. So these are 2008 Royal Canadian Mint coins in Olympic theme with the maple leaf on them for $32 a piece, any quantity pricing. So think about that. That's something I would, consider loading up on, given the prices we're at right now. So yeah, for $3.99 over spot, that's really not bad for a 2008 Royal Canadian Mint maple leaf coin in Olympic theme. So yeah, just give that some consideration as you look and shop today. If you find any deals, please feel free to post them in the comments below. Let people know what's going on. And of course, let's continue to look and see when Libertads hit the screen, when they hit the shelves and they hit the wire, and it's, in a retailer. I prefer an online retailer. I just don't have any kind of counterfeiting issues when I go that route. It might cost me a little extra premium, but I just kind of hold my nose and put up with it. But yeah, I know a couple of you guys are out there checking and making sure that we can catch these Libertads to 2020, silver Libertads in particular. For those of you out for the gold ones, you expect to pay a high premium. But yeah, let's go ahead and keep an eye out for those Libertads and spread the news when you find out about them. Then get all you want, then spread the news, and let the rest of us know what's going on. All right, so guys, that is going to be it. That's all I've got for today. Thank you for tuning in. Now tonight, I actually have a special treat for you. I'm going to try to repost an interview I had last night with Silver Game of Thrones, okay? However, if you don't want to wait to hear it because I'm so interesting, just kidding. Yeah, if you don't want to wait, you can head over to Silver Game of Thrones channel this morning and check out the interview. It's already posted. So I hope you'll enjoy it, and I hope you will enjoy it if you decide to watch it posted on my channel later. We did have a good time last night, talked about a lot of cool things. All right, and I think you guys will find some of it of interest. Got a little carried away, and it's just kind of yucking it up. But that's the joy of stacking, and the joy of being in the stacking community is that we can share our special interests together and talk openly and freely about what to do, when to do it, how we're going to do it, and even debate each other on certain issues. So that's a lot of fun. All right, so go ahead and have a great day today, guys. Keep stacking, and remember that your stack is not whack, and at just 12 ounces to your name keeps you 99% ahead of the game. We'll catch you tomorrow.